Today is Shri Guru Purnima, the beginning of Chaturmasya, 4 months where we practice special vows to advance in our spiritual life, to achieve our fully realized spiritual identity and service. So I want to share with you, as in conversation, not lecturing, but conversing, discussing, the principle of Sri Guru in its many manifestations in our line, and how we can enter into the service of the divine couple Sri Radha Krishna under the direction of Sri Guru, who we can think of as the grand conductor of a divine symphony. That is Sri Guru, who is the object of our symphony, you could say our worship in the form of song. Sri Radha Krishna, the divine couple. The absolute truth in the form of eternal beloveds, Sri Radha and Sri Krishna, inseparable halves, and all of the living entities as aspiring to be divine instruments of their loving service, engaged in the symphony of their divine love, you could say. So how does Guru manifest in our lives, and how do we understand the principle of Sri Guru in our lives? Today is the Purnima day, the full moon day, representing the moon rays of good fortune coming into our lives. The moon rays give spiritual rejuvenation called rasayana. That's why we take shelter of the full moon. When Krishna performs his ras dance, it's also on the full moon night. So we're also going to speak about the ras dance, continuing off from where we left at the last day of our festival. Firstly, what are the different archetypes of our gurus in our line? Not the archetypes, but the original gurus in our line. And then we can understand how they descend down in different forms. And we can also then understand how we serve that principle of Sri Guru, understanding that we are just their humble servitors, servants of the servants, das and udas, like postmen delivering their message, like extensions of the flute song of Krishna, right? Open vessels to carry their message. When Swami Prabhupada writes in his lectures and when he spoke to the devotees, he would say, what is the qualification to be a guru? There are many levels. We heard from Gopa Mataji the other day, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj would say, Guru can be of 3 kinds. Firstly, those who have both feet in the spiritual world and who come here while remaining almost permanently there. They come here as if they're not even touching the ground. These are personalities like Christ or our Srila Gurudev, Srila Swami Prabhupada, liberated souls, eternally liberated, who descend upon this world for a brief time to guide us towards the higher existence. Then there's one kind of guru who has been practicing for a long time and has 1 foot in the spiritual world and 1 foot still on earth. And they're a bridge to that world, bringing us to the spiritual dimension. And then there's the guru who has both feet on the ground, but is moving quickly forward. His eyes are towards the spiritual world, and he's pointing in that direction, and he's a few steps ahead or some way ahead and leading us. Generally it's said that those who are even the highest form of guru, who has both feet in that world, they have to come down to an intermediate stage called madhyam in order to relate with us and to be able to discern how to help us. Because the highest liberated soul, they see everyone as perfected. They see everyone as perfect. They see them in their highest established position, their highest state of perfection. So sometimes I like to say, is their vision true or not? Whose vision is proper? The highest vision or the lower vision? The highest vision is true, must be true. So the pure devotee, when they see us in our perfected state, that is true. But they're seeing the seed not as the seed of the banyan, but as the fully grown banyan. And so therefore, Krishna or God arranges for us to come to Him in all the different levels. There are 5 kinds of gurus in our path. Vartma Pradarshak means simply someone who shows you the path. That's why when Swami Prabhupada came to America, his mission was to make everyone a guru. Because this was the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, Jare dheke tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Whoever you see, teach them about spiritual life, about God, about the relation with the supreme aspect of Godhead in beauty and sweetness, all attractive Sri Krishna. Speak to them about Krishna. In this way, on my order, become a teacher, become a guru. So Swami Prabhupada, he didn't open a mission that everyone would remain just without occupation, you could say. Oh, we're worthless servants of the servants. Yes, even Guru considers himself always disciple, first and foremost. But he engaged everyone, Swami Prabhupada, within a few days, right? Go out on the street, speak about Krishna, sing about Krishna. And then within a few weeks, go and start a center somewhere. Go to London, go to Montreal, go to San Francisco, go to Los Angeles. And that way, within 10 years, he started a worldwide movement. And now within 60, 70 years, thousands of centers. Why? Because he engaged everyone. Vartma Pradarshaka Guru. And he wanted them to evolve as well. He said, within some years, I want you to be ready to be spiritual masters. 7, 10 years. But he said, not prematurely. But what he is to say, Dhruva Maharaj became perfected in 6 months. Dhruva Maharaj, 6 months he performed spiritual life and became enlightened. So he's not cheapening the process. This is very important to understand. Our acharyas never cheapen the position of guru. It's not a cheap thing. It's a very serious, very grave position. Guru means heavy, gravity. It's not light. What he is meaning to say is, don't waste your human form of life and think, I will always remain the same and I'll never grow. You should evolve. That's why the gurus come. The teacher wants the student to surpass them. What does it mean? To become fully realized. Not to surpass, but to not remain stagnant. Teacher in a school doesn't want you to remain in the same level your entire life. Then they think, what is the purpose of the school? It's failing. If all the students are failing, then they think, oh, what is the problem? So, Vardma Pradarshaka Guru, then there's the initiating spiritual master, the instructing spiritual master, the Guru in the heart, which is God Himself, your internal conscience, which directs you right and wrong. What is the highest morality he teaches? Developing love for God. So your conscience, you can understand, is it right or wrong by how much is it developing your love for God and your love and care for others in His service, and how much is it leading you towards just sense enjoyment in this world and getting lost in Maya. Then you can know what is your conscience speaking as God versus what is Maya speaking illusion. If it's directing you in your path to love of God, then that is your internal guru. Because there's a big difference between the conscience Chaitya Guru and the mind as Guru. The mind as Guru is described to be Putana, which is the first demon that came to try to kill Krishna, acting as the false Guru, acting as the mind. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Putana, the witch, represents the mind as the Guru. First you give up the false Guru of the mind, then you give up the false Guru externally, then you find the real Guru. But you won't find a false Guru outside as long as you think my mind is my Guru. The mind that is only leading me to accept and reject things according to how they're favorable to my material enjoyment. So these are 5 levels. Vartma Pradarshak, but first Chaitya Guru, the Lord in the heart, guiding you towards your spiritual calling. Right? Then the second is, when that spiritual calling begins to awaken in your heart, then you'll start seeing signs, then you'll find somebody and when they advise you, then it's just like a match that lights this. Like some things you can take a match and try to light certain wet wood, it won't burn. So Vardma Pradarsha, they go everywhere and strike the match, strike the match, strike the match like flint. And when, just to find who's ready to burst into flame, spiritual life begins. Then the initiating spiritual master, the instructing spiritual master, and fifth, bhajan guru, which means when you're actually sincerely developing in spiritual life deeply, then someone who can guide you in the highest realms of loving engagement, bhajan guru. So therefore that comes last. We see in Jaiva Dharma how they were living in Navadvip with one initiating and instructing spiritual master, and then he sent them to bhajan guru in Jagannath Puri. Dhyan Chandra, Gopal Guru Goswami, and Dhyan Chandra Goswami. So this is the principle, 5 types of guru. But who are they? Who are our gurus in our line? Who are our original fountainheads of all gurus? Who are they? Our line is called the Swarup Rupanuga Gaudiya Sampradaya. As part of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, so descending from Lord Krishna himself to Lord Brahma, to Narad, to Vedvyas, and down to our line through Madhvacharya, his descendants, then to Shri Madhavendra Puri, Shri Ishvara Puri, Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, 6 Goswamis, and so forth. So that is the Shrotiya Parampara. Our line is also called Shrotiya, which means descending through hearing, oral reception. How Narad taught Vyas, how Vyas taught the world through the literature that he composed and gave us, and how it was spoken from guru to disciple all the way down this line. So our line is also called the Shrotiya Parampara. Therefore, even the Diksha mantra is given in the ear. It's the path of hearing. Therefore, it's also called that Shravanakya Bhakti, devotion through the process of hearing, is the most important. Then Kirtanakya Bhakti, the limb of bhakti, of kirtan, singing and glorifying. But first you must hear, otherwise how will you do kirtan? So that's why we're also going to talk about how to serve in the divine symphony of this path of loving relation to Radha Krishna, serving them. How to do kirtan without hearing, how will you do kirtan? Without learning how to play the instrument, how are you going to properly play the instrument? So therefore we say our line is primarily Swarup Rupanuga. Swarup Damodar is Lalita Sakhi, Radhika's first expansion. And Rupa Manjari is Srimati Radhika's dearmost maidservant. They are both here with us, Lalita Sakhi and Rupa Manjari. So that is our line, Swarup Rupanuga. And then Rupanuga means following Rupa Manjari, means Rati Manjari or Raghunath Das Goswami. Therefore our line comes Rup Damodar, Rup Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. Therefore our line is also called the Bhagavat Parampara. Bhagavat Parampara means the line of perfected spiritual masters. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he only accepted in our picture parampara, you could say. The picture parampara is the Bhagavat Parampara, only the perfected souls. Not to say that others, because some people say, oh, there are some gaps. No, there are no gaps. It's unbroken. But we're only singing and establishing that picture parampara of the liberated souls. And so others carry on the tradition, and then a Bhagavad Acharya again will appear in due course to carry on the line. So Swarup Rupanuga means, who is Lalita Sakhi? What is her position in this lineage? Who do we pray to? Do we pray to Radharani directly or Krishna directly? No. Do we pray to Lalita directly? No. Do we pray to Rati Manjari, Rupa Manjari? No. We pray to Guru. How do we pray to Guru? To Sevak. Even if you want to approach like Srila Prabhupada, you go through his Sevak. You want to approach Srila Gurudev, you go through his Sevak. So even you want to approach Radharani or Krishna, then you go through the messenger, the most intimate associate. That's how we can serve Radharani or Krishna in this life even. We start Das and Das and Das and Das. How to serve Gurudev? Find his most dear associate internally. and serve them, then we are serving Radharani and Krishna. So therefore, we should understand in our line that Guru Purnima means how to honor the spiritual master in our life, also learning how to honor the sevaks, learning how to honor the simple devotees as expansions of the power of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Mahaprabhu appears in these different features. This is one more important point about Guru Purnima today. Who is the fountainhead of gurus in our line? What did Gurudev say? Gurudev said Mahaprabhu. He said more so than Nityananda Prabhu. He said Nityananda Prabhu is like Mahaprabhu's first disciple. But because Nityananda Prabhu is elder, he represents the Guru. And so Mahaprabhu wanted people to bow before him first and to honor him first. So one time when Mahaprabhu was, for many days, they would sit in an assembly and people would come to them and they would pranam to Mahaprabhu first as sannyasi. And then Nityananda, and Mahaprabhu was never happy with them. Finally, one day they offered pranam first to Nityananda, then to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu was happy. Why? Pratamam tu gurum pujyam, first honor the Guru, then Krishna. If you try to approach Krishna without Guru, then you'll never be accepted, because you have to get trained. So that doesn't mean Mahaprabhu is not the original Guru, it means he's the Guru of all Gurus. And therefore he's teaching you how to honor all the way. That's why when we start first with our Guru, and then all the way up. And that's how we honor Mahaprabhu as well. But why is Mahaprabhu the original Guru in our line? Gurudev said actually it's Krishna, but Krishna and Mahaprabhu are non-different. Krishna came as Mahaprabhu. But it's specifically Mahaprabhu because it's Krishna with the mood of Radharani. And so therefore, actually, who is even Krishna's Guru? Srimati Radharani. So that's why we're talking about all you could say, the variety of all our Gurus in this line. Like the ontological source of all our Gurus in the spiritual world. If we understand this subtly, we can understand what is the connection. Sometimes people ask, what is the connection between Baladev, Yogamaya, Purnamasi, and Brinda Devi? What is the connection between Brinda, Purnamasi, and Baladev? How do they serve together? Therefore, we have to understand Guru Tattva. If we understand Guru Tattva, we can understand Baladev and Vrinda and Yogamaya, all as the conductors of the pastimes. Guru is those who are, what? The conductor of the symphony of divine love. And engaging us in that beautiful song and dance of the Ras. Meaning, the loving interplay of ecstatic love. How can you serve in that mood? So because Krishna's Guru is Radharani, what did he say? Radhikara Prem Guru. Krishna himself said, Srimati Radhika's pure love, that is my Guru. But Prem Guru is not, that is for Krishna. How can we say, oh, Radhika's Prem is my Guru? It's not possible. That's far beyond our level. But understand that she is the original Guru. She is teaching us the manner of pure love to Krishna or to God by her representatives in this line. So we cannot approach her directly also and say, oh, Radhika is my Guru. No, Radhika is Krishna's Guru. You can't jump over Krishna also. Krishna says, no, she's my Guru. But through her line, Surup Rupa Nuga, that means she is arranging this line and teaching everyone through her. But through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is our Guru. Why? The first verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita establishes this. Vande Gurun. The first words of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is our most important book because it teaches the life of Mahaprabhu and his teaching, says Vande Gurun. Offer pranam to the Gurus. As Mahaprabhu. Isha Bhaktan Isham Ishavatarakam Tat Prakashan Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam. I offer pranam to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his 6 features. As Diksha and Shiksha Guru, initiating and instructing spiritual master, as is Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhar, Srivas, and all the devotees. So all the Gurus are Vande Gurun to Chaitanya. Why? Because it's his plan, you could say, to distribute this method of pure bhakti in this age. So therefore we honor him. And we honor our Guru, and in this way we honor him. And then we honor all the way up the line. This is also shown in Gaur Leela. One day Mahaprabhu said, oh, tomorrow is Guru Purnima today. He said, tomorrow is Guru Purnima, you should arrange a festival. And he asked who will do it. Srivas would use his house and arrange it, and Nityananda would be the priest. And the next day Mahaprabhu was a little bit late to come, and they had all the arrangements prepared, and they were supposed to worship Vyasadeva. And Nityananda was delaying, oh, this or that, oh, I'm just getting ready, and he was procrastinating. Everyone's like, oh, Nityananda, please start, please start. When Mahaprabhu appeared, immediately he went and offered worship to Mahaprabhu, showing that in our line, Mahaprabhu is our Adi Guru. It's Mahaprabhu we worship as Guru. Why? Gurudev said, because everything is coming from Mahaprabhu. Anarpita charim chirad karunaya vartirna kalau samarpaitum unata ujjala rasam svabhakti shyam. This line of the purest love, awakening the purest divine love, in the mood of Srimati Radhika as her maidservants. Who gave that? Mahaprabhu gave that. This was Krishna distributing her mood of love, not even Radharani directly. Krishna coming, begging for her mood of love to distribute to the world as a way to repay her. So it's going to tie into the Rasa Leela. Why? At the end of the Rasa Leela, Krishna said, Napare ham niravadya samyujam swasadu krityam vibudasya. O gopis, I can never repay you. Your love is supremely glorious. It is completely pure. You've given up everything for me. How can I ever repay you? So he thought, oh, how will I do it? I will come into this world again with your mood of Radharani, and I will distribute this love everywhere and bring the lost souls to your lotus feet so that they can also be eternally blissful. In this way I will perform some Pushpanjali. So Mahaprabhu, he is Krishna trying to perform Pushpanjali to Radharani by bringing many flowers in this world and bringing them to her lotus feet. So think of this as Krishna. Who is Mahaprabhu? Krishna coming to this world and by his own mood of love, under her guidance, traveling everywhere, preparing a beautiful garland from all the garden of all the jivas in this world, bringing them to her lotus feet. Therefore, when we say Narayanam, Gurung Narayanakyam, Arshila Gurudev, Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Who is that Narayan? Srimati Radhika is Narayan. Narayani. Why? Narayan means Ayan, at whose shelter all living entities can achieve refuge. Shelter, sanctuary. That means Narayan. So who is the highest Narayan? Srimati Radhika. She is the highest Vishnu. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Om Vishnu Padaya. When we pray Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale in our pranam prayers for gurus, in this line, once all the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta were discussing his pranam mantra after he disappeared. Why does it say Nama Om Vishnu Padaya then Krishna Pristaya? It's redundant. Vishnu Pad, Krishna Pristaya, Krishna Krishna twice. They said no, Vishnu Padaya here is subtly referring to Radharani. They are at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Then they are Krishna Pristaya, the dearmost beloveds of Krishna. So Vishnu Pada means for us Radha Pankaja, being present at the fragrant lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. Therefore we all pray, Kartik month, every day we sing. Shakale Miliya, may we all come together and reside at the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. E Parakasta Siddhi Kabe Habe, when will I achieve that highest perfection of achieving the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika in her service? So therefore we understand who is Mahaprabhu. Then Mahaprabhu, he says, oh Nityananda, you go out. Suno Suno Nityananda, Suno Haridas, go out and spread this message. Therefore, who is Swami Prabhupada? He's the empowered manifestation of Lord Nityananda, continuing that magnanimous distribution of Krishna Prem, the very Karuna Shakti of Mahaprabhu. Karuna Shakti means the mercy potency of the Lord. Who Mahaprabhu said, go everywhere without any inhibition and distribute this pure love of Prem, pure love of God, Prem Bhakti. Abada Karuna Sindhu Katya Mohan. Therefore Nityananda, he broke open the dam. What was the dam? Casteism, thisism, thatism. You're qualified, you're not qualified, everyone is qualified. Man, woman, old, young, lame, blind. Jada anda atura avadi parahai. Whether you're blind, lame, crippled, everyone is qualified. Dham, everyone is qualified for this Krishna Prem. Therefore, this is Nityananda Prabhu. Therefore, Nityananda Prabhu, he is the root of all gurus, under the direction of his source, Mahaprabhu. Why? Even Nityananda Prabhu is one of the Panchatattva coming from Mahaprabhu. Therefore, when we worship Mahaprabhu, within Mahaprabhu, Nityananda is present. Within Mahaprabhu, Advaita, Gadadhar, Srivas is present. They are not different. They are all the features of Mahaprabhu. So in this way we can understand a little bit of Guru Tattva. How can we serve that? Swami Prabhupada said, if you teach the message as it is, but in a way that can bring people, according to time, place, and circumstance, but the essential message, teach it as it is, then you can be like the flute messengers of Krishna. Right? What is the nature of the flute? It can amplify the sound without obstructing the sound and without altering the mood of the heart. It can express the mood of the heart of that. Who is that? Krishna or Mahaprabhu. What is his desire? What is the fragrance of his love? As Vaishnavas, as devotees, as humble servants, we try to distribute that mood. In that way, Amar Agya Guru Hoy, everyone can become spiritual master. Why? If the world is on fire, everyone is qualified to be a firefighter. Right? Get a bucket, get a hose, go and collect from the stream, put out the fire. So everyone becomes qualified. In that mood, Swami Prabhupada establishes worldwide movement. So how can we understand the position of, what is Guru? Therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada showed us by his own life. Any disciple, he always said, Da Soham, I am your servant. And he said one other thing, Vipad Udharan Bandhav. All his disciples, he said, you are my dearmost friends who are saving me in this very dangerous situation in this world. Vipad means we're living in a world full of danger at every step. What is the danger? We've turned away from God since time immemorial. We're enjoying our senses. Our past karmas and our material desires are like dacoits attacking us on the road of life, dragging us towards hell. So we're in a dangerous situation. Therefore, we take shelter of the devotees who keep us in devotee association and engage us in hearing, chanting, remembering, and following the process of bhakti. Therefore, a guru always thinks, all the devotees are my dearmost friends. Why? They're forcing me to remain very fixed in Krishna consciousness, hearing, chanting, remembering, and following all the limbs of devotion, staying true to their own. Why? You cannot live two lives internally. And so, false guru will be revealed in due course. Why? If you're pretending, you can't do that forever. The internal disharmony will externally manifest and you'll go astray. Therefore, properly following means every day being the example of bhakti, trying to live with integrity and service to this line of our spiritual masters. I want to talk a little bit about the Ras dance in this relation, continuing from the previous class we had. Where we left off is we heard how all the gopis were searching for Krishna after he left. And they found the footprints of Radha Krishna. And then they followed them to where Krishna disappeared and only Radharani was present. They found Srimati Radhika as if senseless on the ground, lifeless. And gradually she became revived. And all the different kinds of gopis saw Radharani according to their own mood. Therefore, for us, it's very important not just who we want to be, but with what mood do we want to be. Not what position do we want to have, but what mood are we aspiring for. How can we aspire for the mood of? Always being in that line of loving service. What's the difference? It's a very important meditation for this rasa dance. The most important stage of our sadhana when we grow in spiritual life ultimately is understanding, why does Guru appear to us in this form like, you could say, like in the line of Baladev or Nityananda, we see on our altar many men. What is their internal mood though? They're all gopis of Krishna. But externally they're like this, very strong, very masculine, very, hard as a thunderbolt sometimes. You chastise, twist the ear. One of the words for Guru means he who twists the ear. Guru Karna Dadam. Right? In Sastra it says, Guru nirdeha madhyam sulabam sudurlabam plavam sukalpam guru karnadaram. This human form of life, nirdeyam adhyam sulabam, is very rarely achieved, very fortunate to be achieved. And in this life, we should approach Guru Karnadaram. Karnadaram means he who holds the ears and twists it. So therefore he appears in a form like a father or like a big brother. That is also Guru. You look at like on the masculine side, the archetypes, Lord Nityananda and Baladev, big brother. Baladev, big brother to Krishna. Nityananda, big brother of Mahaprabhu. Big brother has the mood of a father, but also of a friend. So this is Guru. Guru is like a father, but as our relationship develops, then he becomes a dearmost friend. Therefore, Prabhupada would always write, your ever well-wisher, as your friend. And so they appear in this form in a masculine way. Oftentimes we see it like that. Why? Because what we have adopted in this world is Purush Bhav. Purush Bhav means the desire to be the enjoyer, the desire to be God, the desire to be the controller and to have dominion over our life and our surroundings, whether man or woman, we see in this world, especially nowadays. Right? Whether it's even nowadays like the hardcore feminism means trying to adopt, I will be masculine qualities even. Real feminism then adopt the highest feminine qualities. Instead, I want to be the controller and the enjoyer. And men want to be it, women want to be it. This is the nature of having turned away, being averse to God, wanting to be like God. He says, go, I'll give you everything, all the ingredients. What is this world? All the ingredients with which we can pretend and play as God. So when we approach the spiritual master, he teaches us to be the servant. And what does he teach us? He teaches us how to play in concert. Play well with others. What do they say with children? When children are 3, 4, most important for the parent to teach them how to play with others properly, right? If they don't learn how to socialize, then they just they'll end up usually like very alone and sad. They don't learn how to socialize, especially 3, 4. So for us in spiritual life, we're all playing God in this world and then trying to exploit each other. Showing love. And some genuine love is there because our nature is pure love. But it's become a little convoluted, muddied, perverted. And so we've lost the sense of pure love. And so therefore we're trying to lord it over material nature. So therefore when we suffer and we become, you could say, humbled by reality, the reality of that we can't be God. When Prabhupada was preaching, someone came to him and said, I am God, don't you know? And he said, do you cross the street at a red light? No, I wait for the green light. Then you are not God. You are in fear. How can you be God? And with Srila Gurudev, someone came, this is the highest form of madness. I am God. I am the enjoyer. Everything is for me to enjoy. But our mentality we are trying to develop is, I'm the beloved of God. I am the enjoyed. He is the enjoyer. That's why Purush Bhav manifests in the form of attraction in this world between man and woman, because we both want to enjoy as the object of enjoyment. To be the enjoyer, not to be the servant, not to be the beloved, to be the lover. Everything should be my enjoyment. But what Guru teaches us is that we should become offering ourselves wholly to serve. That's why in the Rasa dance, we see Baladev Prabhu is there, but in his internal form, another form, he serves as Radharani's little sister. So we see Baladev, who is our original Guru in one way, he is the elder brother of Krishna. But with Radharani, he's the younger sister. But how does he appear before us? Oh, if you think of, like if you were to tell Srila Prabhupada, oh, Srila Prabhupada, you're like Ananga Mandit, say it. Even though that's his internal state, for you, he is appearing as Srila Prabhupada. Why? Because you need someone to be under the discipline of, to gradually change your nature, to teach you how to become humble. Trinadapi sunichana, become humble. Madhvacharya said, what is dharma? He said, we should understand that we are not in this world as gods. goddesses. No, we're here as humble sevaks, das, anudas servants. There's the greatest sweetness in that relationship, natural relationship. Like when a mother is serving her child, she doesn't think I'm serving. It's my expression of love. So in the highest relationship with Krishna, Krishna doesn't consider anyone a servant. And no one considers themselves, if you were to tell the gopis, you're Krishna's servant, they would laugh. Say, what are you, crazy? Krishna, that crazy boy. We don't serve him. We take care of the garden. We take care of Vrindavan. We're the servants of Vrindavan, but not Krishna. If Krishna would try to say, I am important, I am everything, everyone would laugh at him. So in the highest reality, there's not that relationship of master and servant. But for us in this reality, we have to get away from that relationship with God, I am God, into the mood of being a servant first. Then you can transcend beyond that and realize your sweet relationship with Krishna beyond any of those. Praying, the highest acceptance, the highest love is the God comes to our level, He brings us up to His level. That is prem. He comes towards us and brings us up towards Him. And so we don't know that He is God. We are said in Jaiva Dharma, the infinitesimal spark in relationship to the infinite. When we have pure love, then that infinitesimal spark gets the power of the infinite. Because their capacity to love is always expanding. Because their energy, which they are, is always expanding in newer and newer ways of loving service. So they become as if infinite in their capacity to serve. Because they are serving He who is infinite. Mother Yashoda, when she breastfeeds Krishna as His mother, her milk is unlimited. And his ability to drink her love in the form of her milk is unlimited. So Guru is teaching us to be Guru, bringing us to a divine state. So we are not God, but we can become godly. That is Guru's process of spiritual alchemy, taking us from material conditioning to our spiritual, eternal condition. So it's said that when we receive Diksha initiation, the mantra that we chant, it brings us to a divine state of being. Then we become enlightened. Then in Braj, Krishna goes, oh, where's the sages? Where are the rishis? He offers pranam. God Himself becomes subservient to His beloveds. Therefore, to Radharani, what does Krishna do? He bows down. Smaragala Kandanam. And He offers His peacock feather and His flute at her feet. That's our Krishna here. Krishna serving the Guru, who is Srimati Radhika, on the highest form. So Guru teaches us we're the servant, but then He brings us up to the highest reality of our spiritual nature, and then we're just the beloved of God in the dance of divine love. But first we must follow Vaidhi. That goes back to the song we sang. Krishna is the original Guru or the original doctor, Krishna Chikitsakatar, freeing us from Bhava Rog, the disease of material existence. Then, when He brings us up in spiritual life, what does He do? Vidhi marga rata jane swadinata ratnadane raga marg korana pravesh. He teaches us the path of regulative practice, performing Ekadashi, fast, worshipping Tulasi, chanting japa, following certain diet and fast and things like that, all to purify and cleanse you, and following, hearing, chanting, remembering in a regulated fashion. Why? To give you freedom. Discipline leads to spiritual freedom. So therefore we follow this process very seriously. Think of it as the symphony. We're used to all playing our own tune in this world, running around as little gods. So Guru comes to teach us how to play with others. And in the beginning, we don't know how to play. So therefore we adopt a regulative practice to learn how to play our unique instruments. Right? Each of us has our own unique individual qualities. But Vidhi Marg means follow the path of regulative worship. Why? Learn how to play in the symphony. You imagine you want to join the grand orchestra and you've never practiced an instrument in your life properly, in concert with others. Then it's going to be a discordant notes, not in harmony. So therefore Guru teaches us how to play in harmony through practice, regulative practice. Until when? When you become more advanced, Swadhinata, He gives you the jewel of independence. That jewel of your free will is what Krishna has given as your greatest gift. But you need to learn how to properly use it, because when you are misusing it, it leads to your own suffering. So therefore we learn how to use our independence by accepting guidance, a teacher. You want to be a most expert musician, find a teacher who can teach you. Then when you are perfected, then the teacher will sit in the audience and clap, watching you play. He wants you to be qualified for him to sit and clap and say, oh, his heart should be completely happy that you have learned perfectly how to serve in that grand symphony. So this is what Guru is teaching us. The jewel of independence, when it is offered to the Guru, then all they are doing is protecting and preserving it and helping you learn how to properly use it. Helping that jewel become fully smooth, from unpolished to fully polished, so it can shine. So Guru is not limiting you. Guru is helping you expand, helping you, empowering you. That is Guru. Guru wants to see you grow. If you think of Guru as the gardener, they plant the seed. They don't want it to stay a seed. They want it to sprout. They don't want it to stay a sprout. They want it to grow. They don't want it to just grow. They want it to bear fruit. And they want those fruit to please the beloved Krishna and then to serve everyone. Therefore, even when we came to America, I remember Prabhuji wrote a letter. He said, the gardener doesn't eat the fruits. Watches the tree grow, takes care of the tree. When the fruits fall, the gardener collects them and gives to Krishna and then gives to everyone prasad. Therefore he's saying Guru is detached. He wants us to become Guru. Why? Help others. Become a real disciple, bona fide disciple, and then help others. Don't just be selfish. So, it's a beautiful meditation. Don't think of your discipline just think of your discipline as how to learn how to play the instrument perfectly. And then your Guru will sit in the audience and watch and clap. Oh, how glorious is my disciple playing. How beautiful. How sweet is this song, Radha Krishna are dancing. During the Rasa dance, the gopis were dancing, Radha Krishna was dancing, but who is playing the instruments? The manjaris. Right? Who are playing the instruments? All the sadhana siddhas who've been practicing for so long. All you were playing the instruments. Will be. All be playing the instruments, participating in that divine song and dance. So therefore the goal is the process. The only difference is that we're in the conditioned state, we're going to the perfected state. In the perfected state, there, everything is fully trained. But then when you're fully trained, then you learn how to improvise, right? Once you're an expert musician, you can improvise in perfect harmony while also adding some unique flavor. So therefore we say each individual is unique in their expression of love. And Guru is not minimizing your unique individuality. They're preparing you to properly express your unique individuality in a way, in a manner that is trained. What do we say is the difference between what is genius? 99% effort, right? Right? You have your genius, your unique genius, but unless you develop your potential, it's just wasted, spoiled potential. Therefore, what is your unique potential, each of us? How do we realize that? That is the service of Guru, what he wants us to achieve. So at the Ras dance, when Krishna reappeared, all the gopis took shelter of Radharani, and under her guidance they sat on the bank of the Jamuna. First they were trying to search for Krishna by their own intelligence, by their own eyes, by their own senses. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Searching in the forest, where is Krishna? And then asking the help of others, trees, clouds, moon, where is Krishna? No one answered. They were trying to use their own faculties. Ultimately, they showed the path to God is not through, is he here, is he there? Back when they came out with digital camera, not digital, original print, people were taking pictures trying to find God. Maybe I'll capture him on film. We can't see God with our material vision. We can see him through prayer if he descends through the path of hearing. Therefore, Radharani directed them, let's sit down by the bank of the Ganga, Jamuna, Kalindi. And we sing, Jayati te dikam janmana braja shrayat indira. You see, the gopis were all trained now. Now they all sang together. No one had to learn the song. They had already learned through their sadhana. They'd become expert musicians. So they all sat together and they sang Gopi Geet, 19 verses. Very beautiful. Yatte Padam Bhuja. So many sweet prayers, praying to Krishna one after another. Please appear before us, all with different moods. Each verse, there's many underlying moods, like a beautiful symphony. A beautiful song has so many subtle parts, right? You imagine like a grand orchestra with hundreds of instruments. It all sounds like it's meshing together, but there's so many subtle little, each different cello and flute and clarinet and violin and all the different instruments, how are they playing together in concert? So even in the Gopi Geet, one verse has moods according to each gopi with different meanings. So we've had lectures on Gopi Geet for 1 month, on each, like few days for each verse. Just understanding, oh, this is the mood of Radharani's group, this is the mood of Chandravali's group, this is the mood of Shaiva, this is the mood of the... When they're saying Tapta Katamritam, Tapta Jivanam, what is her mood and her mood and her mood and her mood? And how are all those moods doing what? Trying to please the beloved Krishna. Because now they've realized, taking shelter of Radharani, my only purpose in life is not to enjoy myself, but to offer myself in the service of Krishna and to please him. That is prem, that is bhakti. So simply reminding us what is real devotion. That is the root of Kam. The root of Kam is lust. I want to enjoy. And so everything is for my enjoyment. Therefore, Guru comes to teach us, no. Understand you are the servant of God. Try to please him every day. Then you will achieve your highest form of happiness. Why? In the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says, the jiva is ananda, seeking bliss. Therefore, Guru is helping us achieve the highest state of bliss, anandamaya abhyasat. Don't think Guru is trying to make you, oh, Krishna doesn't need more servants. Krishna accepts you for your benefit. God doesn't need your service. He doesn't need us. He has everything. He's Atmaram. Even this rasa dance, it's described. Sukadeva Goswami says Krishna is Atmaram, Aptakam, and Akandita. Defines him in 3 terms. Atmaram, self-satisfied. Atmaram, always enjoying himself. And Akandita, never needing anything. He's completely whole within himself. So God doesn't need us. Why he comes and sends Guru is to benefit us. By bringing us to him, then we achieve our highest state of existence. We achieve the Ananda. He is Anandamoy already. But why are we suffering in material existence? So how can we be also in his service and achieve that spirit of Ananda? So when Krishna appeared in the rasa dance, we'll finish here. Very beautiful description. Finally, Krishna reappeared after the gopis sang to him. Again, showing us how do we find God? Shravanam Kirtanam, singing, hearing about him, meditating on him, becoming one-pointed, focused. And then he says, have no doubt, if you meditate on me with love, I will bring you to me, I will appear before you. So he appeared before them. And then what did the gopis do? Seva. First thing they did is they showed their love as Krishna, as their Guru also. They all took their shawls and made an asan and put it down, and Krishna sat on all the gopis' shawls. You can imagine, nice big asan, Vyasasan. This is Guru Purnima. Ras Purnima, Guru Purnima. Dopata, right? All the upper cloth ladies wear, the veils, like a gopi skirt and then the veil. So they all folded them together and gave Krishna a seat. Why? They wanted to have some discussion. Right? They knew, okay, Krishna's come back. If we let him stand and talk with us, he might run away. We might start dancing. So it's like Guru comes, say, sit down. Take some water. Why? I want to hear and discuss with you something. So this is why, the gopis all gave a seat to Krishna, each of them, their own shawl. And Krishna sat down. And it's described that each of the gopis, one gopi held Krishna's hands, and his hands started to massage. Why Guru Seva? Krishna Seva. One gopi took Krishna's feet on her chest, trying to cool the burning fire of her separation. And they had prayed this, the 19th verse of Gopi Geet, they were praying, oh Krishna, let me take your feet on my breast. Because while you're walking, disappeared in the forest, your feet may have walked on some stone or thorn. So let me try to cool it. Some gopis took one Krishna hand and put it on their shoulder. And some gopis, what did they do? They glanced at Krishna with a burning sidelong glance. Who's that? Radharani's group. Vamya Bhav, contrary mood. Radharani also showed this contrary mood. So then they asked Krishna a question. Oh Krishna, what is the real nature of love? There are many kinds of love in this world. Who knows the different kinds they asked?
They asked him, what kind of lover are you?
Yes. He said, one kind of lover only shows love if they are loved first, or if they are receiving that love. Then they return their love. One kind of love is, whether you are loved or not, you just have that love. The third kind of love is, whether you're loved or not, doesn't matter, you don't have love for anyone. You're detached. So if someone loves you, you love them in the return. If someone loves or doesn't love you, you love them. And if someone loves or doesn't love you, you don't love them. So he said they asked, Krishna, tell us about your love. And Krishna didn't specify exactly, because he explained, he said, those who only love if they are loved are selfish. And he said, this is not the path of Dharma. It's not the path of real religion. Oh, you love me, oh God, if you give me this, I'll worship you. If you don't, businessman. So this is not real love. Or in this world, if someone shows you affection, then you show them affection. This is kind of mood. Pure love is reciprocal. But first it must be pure. You're only serving the beloved because you love them, whether they return it or not. But Krishna said, oh, I'm not like that. And he said the next kind of love is actually the path of Dharma or religion. He said, like a parent loves their child, whether they love them or not. And he said, like a guru loves their disciple, whether they return it or not. He said, in a school, someone will learn from the teacher and leave the teacher and forget about the teacher and not remember the teacher or not appreciate the teacher. You know? He said that kind of student is ungrateful. And we should not be like that. We should not be ungrateful. Anyone who's helped us in spiritual life, a little bit even, we should be grateful and offer them respect. Looking at the good quality, not the bad quality. They've helped me forward in my spiritual life. How can I honor that? Learn how to honor all according to their qualification. Yata yogya saman. But Krishna said, I'm also not like that. Right? Like a mother or father loves their child, or like a teacher. And then he said the other side. He said, some are ungrateful. He said, some students, guru avagya, he said. Even though you receive so much, but you don't have any love in return, then guru avagya. Ungrateful. But Krishna said, I'm not ungrateful. I'm not ungrateful to you. And then he said, you know what? Don't think I really actually left you. Because the gopis were thinking, we gave up everything for you. When they were singing Gopi Geet, they said, Pati Sutan Vaya Bratri Bandhavan Ati Vilangyate Antyachuta Gata Gati Vidastavod Gita Mohita Kitava Yoshita Tyascha Jennasi. Oh Krishna, we gave up family, social customs, everything. If we were to go home, we would be ridiculed. We accepted that. What was the gopis' nature of love? Later on, when Krishna was in Dwarka, he had a fever, and he sent Narad Muni to collect the foot dust of his devotees. And no one would give their foot dust because they said, oh, we'll go to hell for giving our foot dust to Krishna, God. But the gopis said, oh, Krishna's asking for it, take it. And they collected their foot dust and put it in a bundle. That became Gopi Chandan that we wear. Every day, what do we wear? The foot dust of the gopis on our head, because they had that mood of selfless love. Narad Muni said, oh, but you may go to hell for giving your foot dust to Krishna, God. He said, if that is his desire, we'll happily go to hell. So the gopis gave up everything for Krishna, completely one-pointed. They had done austerities for tens of thousands of years just to achieve Krishna, as the personified sages, as the Murtis of Sita, in so many different forms, as Sadha and Siddhas. They finally came to Krishna, gave everything to him, and then took guidance of Radharani also. But yet Krishna left them. So Krishna said, don't think I left you. Don't think I left you. He said, I only was very near, but I only disappeared for a short time to increase your love, purify your love, and intensify your love. He said, therefore I'm none of these. God, as God I am equal to all. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. But those who show their love for me, I also bring them to me. Because I am equal. I don't take away anyone's free will. But know that I always love you. It's like Krishna, God loves us whether we love him or not. God loves everyone. And he is equal to everyone. So that's where he says, actually, I love everyone. Why? Because they're all part of me. How can I not love them? But those who have turned away from me, I cannot take away their independence by force. So therefore, I am also neutral. I'm also Atmaram Aptakam. Why is he Atmaram Aptakam? Because he is non-different. He's always with Radharani. He's inseparable from Radharani. So he's Atmaram, self-satisfied, Aptakam, pleased within himself. They're inseparable. But then he said, O gopis, because of your spotless love for me, because you have given up everything for me, even as I cannot do for you, because I am for everyone. I have to help everyone. The whole universe, all living entities, I am bound to go again and again, incarnation after incarnation. I try to help the living entities. I appear in all these different forms, all the avatars. Keshava Drita. In this rasa dance description, Krishna is many times called Keshava. Why? Keshava Drita Narahari Rupa, Keshava Drita Vamana Rupa, Keshava Drita Sukara Rupa. In all the avatars Krishna appears, that is Keshav. So in the rasa dance he says, I go everywhere to help everyone. But you are only one pointed to me. Therefore, napari ham niravadya samyujam swasadu krityam vibudahisa. O gopis, I am indebted to you, to your spotless love. I have teased you, I have harassed you, not just now, but in so many lifetimes away from the sadhan siddhas. For so many thousands of years you've tried to come to me and I have stayed hidden. So for your spotless one-pointed love, I am eternally indebted. I can never repay you. Napadeham. You are the real sadhus. Therefore Krishna established the gopis as the highest example of sadhus. He said all these pastimes were just to establish you as the pure sadhus. Know that I disappeared to intensify your love, but also to show the world the glory of your love. And establish that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Ras dance, as the pinnacle of this entire scripture, which is my own body. Krishna said the Bhagavatam is my own form, and what is the essence of the Bhagavatam? The Ras, the 5 chapters of Ras. And that is only to glorify the gopis as their purest examples of love. Completely, spotlessly pure, giving up everything simply for serving and pleasing their beloved Krishna. So Krishna spoke like this. And after this, just to conclude, Parikshit Maharaj said, I only have 7 days to live. But you're spending all this time on the Ras. Not only that, the chapters before it, what is it? Katyani Brat, stealing the clothes. Then lifting Govardhan and describing all these pastimes, Purva Rag, the attraction of the gopis to Krishna. Why are you spending so much time talking about the gopis and Krishna? I'm going to die in a few days. Couldn't you talk to me about some kind of high knowledge or some sadhana or something? Why are you speaking about the gopis? Now I only have a few days left. Already 4 days have passed. 5 days have passed. You have a little bit of time and now you're just speaking about Krishna, Krishna, Gopi, Gopi. Why? When Mahaprabhu came to this world, what did he sing? Gopi, Gopi. When Mahaprabhu was still a boy, Nimai. One day he was with his students and he started chanting Gopi, Gopi. And the boy said, why are you chanting Gopi? Chant Narayan, Narayan. And he picked up a stick and chased them. I have come to give you this medicine, but it's become like poison. The medicine I want to give. He said, therefore I will take sannyas. This is when Mahaprabhu decided to take sannyas. Because you will not listen to me like this. So I will take sannyas and then I will preach Gopi, Gopi. And then if you don't listen, then I have my danda. But Nityananda broke that danda. Why? The mood of Mahaprabhu, his power of his love will spread everywhere because Mahaprabhu himself will follow that path. And all Radharani's associates came and taught that path of Rag Bhakti Yoga. So therefore our Vaidya is also influenced by the mood of Rag. We're practicing Vaidya only to achieve the highest perfection of Rag. So this is our mood. So finally, Parikshit Maharaj asked this question, why hear about these topics? Better to hear about something else. How did Krishna dance to the gopis, other wives, and this and that? And Sukadeva Goswami said, you don't understand. There is no such thing as another's. Everything is God's. Everything is Krishna's. We're all Krishna's. There is no one else. Soul in Krishna and our pure love for him. That is all there is. Everything else is illusion. So therefore, to teach us this illusion, Krishna is showing all the gopis there are mine. There are no other husbands. They're all mine. We have this eternal relationship of love. Therefore, how can you divide Krishna, Shakti, Shakti Mato, or Beda? You cannot divide Krishna and his Shakti, the living entities, or his eternal Swarup Shakti and Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti. It's all connected to Krishna. So in the end, Parikshit Maharaj said, never criticize or try to imitate a controller. He said, never imitate Krishna. He said, don't think you're like Shiva that you can drink the ocean of milk. And he said, fire purifies everything it comes in contact with. So he said, Krishna dancing with all the gopis, this was pure. But what happened after this, many people try to imitate, oh, I'll be like Krishna, come for a Ras dance. They'll all go to hell. Why? Trying to imitate God, trying to be the enjoyer, instead of trying to serve God. And then the final verse of chapter 33, 10th canto, 39 verse. Very important verse. 10, 33, 39. Srila Prabhupada often referenced it. Srila Gurudev often referenced it. Very beautiful verse, Sukadeva Goswami says. Vikriditam rajavadubiridam cha vishnum shradan vito anusuyadata varnayadya bhakting parang bhagavati pratilabhya kamam ridrogamasu pinoti achirena dhira. Krishna is the doctor, like we sang. Krishna is the doctor. How is he the doctor? By this Harikatha. What Harikatha? Vikriditam Rajavadubir, of the Braja Gopis with Sri Krishna and their pastimes. That is the medicine that will completely remove the lust in the heart and awaken spontaneous divine love. Therefore, hear with faith again and again. Shrinvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtan. Again and again you should hear. Again and again you should remember. Again and again meditate. That's why we have our Takaji. So we sing before them, we hear about their pastimes, and gradually, first, Bhakti Param, devotion will arise. Pratilabdya Kama, material thirst and desires will go. But first Bhakti must come. So that is the purpose of our ashram here. Hearing, chanting, remembering the pastimes of Sri Krishna in guidance of Guru and Vaishnavas, and very seriously following this process so that we can come to that stage of being perfected in our service in the divine symphony, pleasing the divine couple Shri Radha Krishna, playing for them. Sugita Nartane Shabashaki Gane Tusi Che Yugaladan. This is our Kam Gayatri mantra. How can we sing together and play instruments together for their pleasure? That's our meditation on Kam Gayatri. Radha Krishna sitting on a jeweled throne, surrounded by their Sakhis, playing varieties of instruments and singing for their pleasure. So this is our meditation. We can also serve in that highest experience of reality. But to do that, we must become trained. Vidhi marga rata jane svadinata ratna dane rag marg karana pravesh. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur would sing, this is the purpose of all my chanting charms. He would say, chapa, chanting, practicing bhakti, very seriously, not wasting time, not wasting this human form of life. Even though it's very rarely achieved, it can give you the highest wealth. Therefore, don't waste any time. Try to progress in your spiritual life. Na deva devam archayat. You want to serve Krishna, you must become like Krishna, divine. So Guru is trying to make us deva on that platform of the divine life.